Hi friends, this is, I think, a behind the scenes peek at what will be Smash Our Stash for November. It is a Friday evening, it's been a long week at work, and I came home and I looked at this giant mess and I thought, it's chilly in here, maybe I should just go sit in the other room and play video games or watch TV or something. I don't think that's the answer here, people. So I turned on the heat, put on my big girl pajamas, and I'm gonna dig into this. I think I'm gonna have some help from this guy and from her. Oh, and I bet she's gonna help too. And a week from tomorrow is my craft fair. So I have this table set out here. I still have a lot of things that I'm gathering and finding and UFOs. And I probably have way too much of certain things and maybe not enough of other things. But overall, it's a really small venue. So I don't necessarily need a ton. And I'm probably going to end up with extras. So I'm going to go through this room and we're going to work on this counter. We've got, I don't know. Oh, in one video, we made this a blue thing and then I put some stuff on top of it. Fall, travel, fall scraps, a pink journal that we started in a different something. I needed the container, so I combined a bunch of stuff into here. Same with this pile. Added some more to that. Those are those circle things, which turns out aren't very sticky. And she's sitting on, I think, a UFO journal. Or two. Yeah, two. And then some more paper. So tons of stuff. What I'm thinking is Smash Our Stash is free choice this month. So what if I just start working my way down the counter and make embellishments and sort the things and clean my room and see what we create. It won't so much be a, I'm going to use these scraps or I'm going to use these tissue box things. It will be a, let's make this room beautiful. Because in a week, oh, see that chair? They love that chair. She started to test her nails on it. I got to put cushions on it. But in a week, it's going to be my craft fair. And in a perfect world, that day after that craft fair, I would like this room to be cleaned up a little bit. And then I think I want to be able to focus on just Christmas and playing with UFOs, unfinished objects. I don't know. I am not going to talk all the way through this video because I like to watch TV or other friends on YouTube or listen to music. So I'm going to put my phone up in the stand and go for it. And then I'll come back in at other points, like when I stop for the evening or when there's something interesting. I'll update you a bit along the way and we'll see how much we get done on this Friday night when I'm already tired. One thing that I think is really helpful when you're struggling to get going is to just dive in. So you can see I've sped this up, but what I'm doing is I'm just opening things up. Sometimes when I lack motivation, I get a cup of coffee or tea and I come and I sit in my craft room and I make sure the light over the counter is on and I look and think, what would I do? And you know my trick about leaving myself notes for when I come back later to help me find a starting place. But sometimes the mess just gets away from you. But don't forget, you like to chop up paper and glue things together. And I'm just doing that. I'm making some tags. Do I need travel tags? Probably not. But maybe I could shove them in the travel journals or maybe they'll be in another journal. These are all papers and things that I like. So why not use them, right? I don't know about your craft space and your supplies, but mine have gotten away from me and I'm just doing some aggressive cleaning, tidying, and every time I touch something as I go through this counter, I'm saying, do I want to use it? If I won't use it when I'm making miscellaneous embellishments and playing and there's not a specific color palette on a project I'm trying to work within, then let's be honest, I'm not going to use it. And I need to put it in the other pile. I need to put it in the, this will bring joy to a neighborhood kid or a neighbor or in my Facebook group. So that's what I'm doing. And in these, I wasn't stopping and thinking, oh, I need 2 tags or I need this. I was just saying, I have this piece of paper. I didn't use this scrap. I like this. I don't like it. I don't throw a lot away. And maybe sometimes when people come and get my Facebook giveaway stuff, they're like, what is wrong with this crazy lady? I really don't throw a lot away. I'll take small scraps and throw them in my this might bring joy to someone else pile. But, most likely it's pink or it's a paper I've had too many of them. Or, you get those ephemera packs and there's a whole bunch of the same thing. This is my journal from Tanisha, and I have systematically put things upside down in various times. So it's all right. It'll work itself out. If you're not familiar with Tanisha K here on YouTube, be sure and check her out. She makes great stuff. Really, really talented. Okay, Eliza's very helpful in this video. Very helpful. These are, those Tim Holtz, oh gosh, did you buy them? The big thick chipboard. Rip off some layers. They're too thick. I bought the white ones and the cream ones, and then I mixed them together. These Eiffel Towers are from like a little cut apart ephemera pad, and I use bits and pieces of it here and there. But again, it was one of those things where there were multiple pages. So some of them went in they'll bring someone else joy, because how many Eiffel Towers do I need? This piece of paper I've been working with forever. It was a giant, I think it was a 12 by 12 piece of paper about travel and motivation, and it had all these sentiments. And I just started processing. My friend Katie went through this thing in her craft room, her quilt room, where she, quote, processed everything into scraps she would use. And when she picked something up, she chopped it into a 2x2 or a 4x4. And that's what I started doing. Everything I picked up, I said, why haven't I used this? Well, it needs to be fussy cut, or it needs to be tidied, or I just don't like the color. Okay, well, if you don't like the color, it goes in the go away, right? Some things I even said, I love these, like these. I love these, but they need a sentiment on them, and I never want to stop and do that, so then I don't use them. So then I stamped 2 of them, and in fact, I used them up and wished I knew where more were. They were on a sheet together with a whole bunch of colors. They came on like a 12 by 12 sticker sheet, and I can't remember what brand or anything. Some of them I liked, some of them I didn't. Here, just put stuff together and see what happens, and don't be afraid to play. I think that's one thing that's really freeing about having people give you stuff, or getting stuff for free, or using Kleenex boxes or trash. There's no pressure, right? You didn't buy it. You're not obsessed with it. You didn't pay $25 for the perfect paper, and now you're afraid to use it. Clearly, I got you a little too zoomed in. I'm going through those little things on the counter too and pulling stuff out. Now, these stickers I had saved for a whole bunch of like travel journals or whatever, or time. In reality, when I started using them, they're very shiny. I think they might have been from a Tim Holtz pad or something. I can't remember. And so I put a whole bunch of them in the go away. They were not bringing me joy. Oh, then I got into the Christmas stuff and the UFO winter tags that I found. Look at that. That one's cute. I haven't done anything with that. But that probably won't show in the SOS video later, right? Because I didn't keep them together. And that's what I mean about cleaning the counter. If you're not making a specific item, I put things away and forget to show you. I'm experimenting with my voiceover and my mic because my new software is so quiet. So sorry about that. This is Eliza. She was just sitting behind me taking over the baskets. And I've slowed this down just a little bit because it's kind of hard to get decent video of kittens, let me tell you. And then over here, this is Zelda. She's the little munchkin that came later. And usually they're snuggled up together. In fact, at one point they tried to get in one of those baskets together, but Zelda didn't like the idea. So we're back to the counter and working through, and I'm opening up more and more different containers, envelopes. I don't know if you do it, but when I craft, I have a tendency to kind of, I'm going to say tidy up, but I'm using that loosely at the end, and I end up with all these containers, or the way things came to me. I could have die cut this, but I just grabbed scissors and went around it, so I didn't have to find the right die again and get it lined up. Just getting creative with the papers and various ephemera. That typewriter, I've been moving it around. I really thought it was a sticker. In the end, I gave up and glued it. I don't think it was an actual sticker. It's just I mixed it up with stuff. So, sometimes you can't remember where you got it. And I'm just putting random things together. I'm not overthinking it. Would I have liked different spaces or different sizes? Maybe. But sometimes the point is just to glue it on and have things that are ready. And I like to use stuff up. So that's what I'm trying to do these days. Are you going night-night? Yeah? Are you going to go night-night? Did you hear Miss Eliza purring? She purrs so loud, even louder than Sadie did. Now that we are fed up with travel or done with it, whatever, we've moved on to fall. And I had fall scraps from years and years, and it was just time to get these used up. And I did the same thing. I just kept going through them and saying, do I like it? Sure, glue it down. If I don't, I set it aside for a long time. And then later I sort of committed. My phone battery's almost dead. It's been over half an hour. I don't know, maybe 45 minutes or so. I may not have had the camera right, so I may have to chop a bunch out. I did a whole bunch of travel stuff, and then I switched to fall, pulled the scraps out of the bin and said, okay, let's make something. And I'm thinking I'm going to toss these, especially since I have this as my background, but I'm going to set them right here, and just in case if I need scraps or something. And then I'm going to make a couple more fall cards, and I'll just keep clearing stuff out. Like this, I don't know that I love this on here, but we might try it. And if I don't like a piece of paper, we'll just get rid of it. We'll just say, nah, that's not going to work. And if you get down to scrap cards and you don't want to use something and you don't like it, it's time to put it in the bin for your grandkids or the neighbor kids, or just let it go, because if you don't like it, you're not going to like it more later. And some of these papers I didn't like that much before, and when you go to your pile of scraps, you're going to have scraps of things you didn't like because you didn't use them, right? We've talked about that at the end of my smashes. I end up with a lot of stuff I don't love because it wasn't my favorite. We better go. I got to get my phone charged, and I need to put my feet up. So I think I might work on this pile a bit on the couch, and then I'll just show you when I turn the camera on what I made with it. I'm probably not going to use this. I'm going to have to make a decision about these pumpkins. I think I'll make some scrap cards. Here we go. This is not the most attractive paper. Maybe we can find a green, and I'll chop this in. It's probably going to be 3 cards, and we'll use it up because it's not going to work for a journal except for a pocket. Okay, I took a break. I charged my phone. I have worked on this. I don't know if it looks better. In my pile, I found a lot of different scraps. I even found an embellishment and cut it down. I don't know what I'm going to do with it. Look at this. It has to kind of go that way because I put some trees, leaves, and weird circles. There was another embellishment strip that I used. So I have a bunch of card fronts, or possible card fronts here. I've just piled this right on top of my travel stuff I was doing. And then I'm getting down to, I don't really like these, but I think I could do some die cutting with these. Yeah, see that one again. I'm going to head off to bed, and I'm going to take, we're working on just cleaning up, right? This was actually on the other counter, but the other day I got out my white scraps to stamp sentiments on, and I had tons of this old, I think it's basil, yeah, textured cardstock. And I thought this would be great for snowflakes. So I'm going to try and find some snowflake dies, take a small die cutter, and head off to bed. I don't need snowflakes, but pretty soon I probably will. And then as I go through these fall papers, I'm saying, okay, that can go in here. This is scraps that I will make neutral cards with, not necessarily fall. I'm getting a little tired of fall. Is that weird already? I guess it's November. That's okay. This, I probably shouldn't have glued that down because then I changed my mind. But I am getting down to where there are fewer and fewer scraps that work. And I don't think there's too many more cards here. We'll see. And we'll work on that in the morning. I made a giant mess looking for snowflake dies, and while I was going through that pile, this piece of white was in that scrap pile, and it was really low quality, so I decided to make a base on it too. So there's another scrap base, and I'm at the point where I'm just throwing this stuff away. Sometimes at the end, you're like, okay, that's enough. If they're big, long pieces, like this one, I saved when I made a card, but these I'm not. I'm gonna drink my first cup of coffee and clean up this counter a little bit. I think I need to address fall and deal with some of these die cuts before I start anything else. I know, sounds crazy. It's not really me, is it? I was playing, I think the cats have been through here. I need to remember you can't really lay out projects here anymore. I was testing this, hello, which is nice, versus this. It is, whoa. I don't know which one. I think I'll probably glue the really white, bold one on there just because I know it will pop and show. I kind of liked the other one. It was fun. Somewhere we'll find something. We'll cut some backs for this. And then this So Grateful. I was trying to decide if I was going to layer them. They don't work on any of the stuff I have here, I don't think. They're just, the color is too close. That's kittens, not a herd of elephants running around, in case you were wondering. Maybe if I layer them both here, I could put it here, but still, it's kind of boring. So I'll keep playing with those. Maybe after I'm fully caffeinated, all of the answers will come to me. But I don't think I'm going to keep this pile of weird orange geometrics over here. I was sorting last night and trying to get down to, okay, what do I have to work with? I'm not that excited about any of these. This is just a piece of white, not very good quality cardstock. I apologize for what I imagine is a roller coaster of volumes in this video. I have tried my headphones. I am trying my other microphone. Mr. Crafting and Relaxing came and checked on me. Since I switched my software, I'm having a heck of a time with my voiceovers. So please be patient and my apologies. I literally had to throw one out. This So Grateful I still haven't used. I'm thinking that it probably needs to go on mirror paper or maybe on an embossed piece of paper that one of you was so kind enough to send me in Happy Mail because I always forget to use embossing folders. In my defense, I don't have very many either, but I just don't think about them. The So Grateful, it's just very fine, and I don't think it's going to hold up on patterned paper. So maybe today I'll work on that. I confess to you, you're going to get to the end of this video and you are not going to see a clean counter. Spoiler alert, there you go. But you will see a lot of crafting along the way. How about that? Maybe sometime in the near future you're going to see a clean room. We'll see. I get sidetracked. I have so many other ideas and things I'm working on, and then I start something. Now, this paper is in my, I should use this up. It's 12 by 12, thin, single-sided. I've made a lot of envelopes with it. You might have seen them popping up in journals. And it's in my, I should watch TV and make stuff with that. So I thought it was a great way to mix in for fall. If you want to make seasonal things, you don't need a lot of seasonal paper or ephemera. You just need maybe some leaves or one piece of patterned paper. And then you can go from there. So I'm just bringing in earth tones because it's fall and I want to use those up too. In fact, I should have thought of it sooner and die cut a whole bunch of backgrounds out of that. The color was a little off, but it worked. I'm using that corner chomper. One of you was kind enough to tell me to get the big bad corner rounder, and Noni had the chomper, I guess I'd call angled tag thing, and the rounder in her stash. They are great for multiple layers of cardstock. So on your scrap card fronts like this, or journal pages where you got a little junky, I love my little tiny blue corner rounder, and it's so much better for travel and that kind of thing. But man, you can chomp with those. Probably not good for somebody who has hand trouble. I mean, they're pretty heavy, but they do work. Are you tired of looking at these papers yet? I am. But this thank you, this one's going to make a cute card. Watch this one. Well, you probably already saw it, right? In the video. I forget. You've seen things out of order. What I was looking for was just something to make that pop and to make it worth the fact that I die cut it. I have made enough cards in my lifetime where I took a great sentiment and I put it on something that just didn't let it shine, and then it doesn't work. It's an okay, maybe card, but it's not good. And so that's what I was looking for. I love how this card turned out, and it's not necessarily, I don't use sketches. Not against them, just not organized enough, don't have a printer, can't remember even if I take a print screen of one. But I love this one. I love how it came out. It's a great scrap card idea because the part that the thank you is on, I think is maybe 2 inches. So it is the part that is left over. I end up with tons of 2-inch strips after I cut my card fronts. So a really fun idea for using things up. Now I'm trying to figure out how else can I embellish that card, and it's gonna lead to fussy cutting, which is very, very fast on a video, let me tell you. You'll be impressed. Bam, done. Figured you didn't need to see that. Took my old faithful yellow and black scissors and went and sat in my comfy chair and cut those out. I was just looking for something that could go there. I also could have dug around in my stash and found some little die cut leaves, but it's such a mess. They were probably on the floor in a bin at this point, and I used up a scrap. And because the scrap, it was out of the same like color family brand thing probably, it really tied it all together because one of those acorns kind of has this burnt red that's already in the other leafy paper. It doesn't matter, but somehow I liked it. And I have a lot of thank you dies. I make a lot of thank you cards. You do not need as many as I do. Just do what makes you happy. And I don't think in my lifetime I want to spend a lot of time cutting out acorns, but I do have some more stamped ones. Noni stamped them for me, and I want to get those cut out too, just because I think if they're cut out, I'll use them. I'm making the bases and gathering them as I go and trying to actually come up with completed cards for the video, which is sometimes harder than you think. And I have tons of fall enamel dots somewhere. I still don't know that I have even dug into the new packages. I've been really, really trying to use up the old ones and the loose ones. And I went through my stash on the counter. Some of the colors that you would consider ugly will work for Christmas, because if you're not a green fan like me, you don't want to use them, or fall, or the burnt oranges, or the weird browns. All of those are great for fall stuff. Get them out and use them up before that window closes, and then you find yourself in the spring thinking, what am I going to do with these? I had an assortment of card fronts, bases, backs, and I was trying to actually match parts up. Then I gave up. I turned off the camera and I went through a box of, I don't know what it was. Some things were cut aparts from paper. I need to make card bases, but there is just no space in this room right now to do it. So what I'm thinking is I'll get these all prepped, move them off to the side, and then I'll make the card bases. And I want to make the bases all the way and put scraps inside before I start throwing anything away or cleaning up. It's really nice to do that. These sentiments, maybe the color of the flowers isn't exact, but they're just probably not things I'm going to use up. And so I just decided those leaves are weird. I don't like leaves in rows. I just decided that we should use them. So as many of these sentiments that we can. They were sitting in a box and I've been moving them around. I think this one, I can't quite. I was going to try and just cut it off, but it goes up into the E. let's just do it. We'll put a tiny corner round on it because we don't have a lot of room, or we'll chop off the letters. And then we'll just glue it on there. I don't think I'm gonna make one with the card that says Harvest, Give Thanks, because it's so big. It takes up a lot of the space, so it's pretty boring. And I don't know who I'm gonna give that card to. A hello friend, I think I would do. Ooh, those stripes are tricky. Looks crooked. I don't think it is though. Now I've had more coffee, so I think the quality of the products is getting a little better. But also, these are scrappy cards. You just gotta forgive them a little bit. Okay, so we have that one. And I thought this thanks would work pretty well on here. I'm gonna zoom you in and probably forget to zoom you back out and work out of frame. And then have to throw the video away. It's kind of what happened on the last one. On the small pad process. Hang on. Missy, oh, that tiny kitten is dragging around a stack of dies that are taped together. They were on the table. I find dies in the front room on the living room floor now. So I'm thinking maybe it's not me that is the only messy one here. There's an Eliza hair on the counter. They're dark. Thought I'd just sort of put this right here. This was in my stash. I started looking around. That's where I got those other sentiments too. And saying, okay, what do I have that doesn't have so much blue in it? Which is sometimes tricky here. I'm going to put this on here and take the dies away from the kitty. Girls? Yeah, those are mommies. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they just be wandering off with them. Okay. And a couple of these pieces, this is a really big piece. I do not want to use it today. I don't want to get into the purple. It doesn't work with what we're doing. I think I will put these back in the fall bin. This one, I don't know if I'll save all those weird orange ones, but I might. There may come a time next year when I'm excited. I think this is 2 or 3 years worth of scraps. And so that's why some of these papers are even harder to use. They're not fresh scraps that I'm excited to see. So I think I'll just clear a spot in the middle, put this away, and make a couple of card bases because I'm out. I don't have any, not horizontal, not vertical, nothing. But I did buy the paper last night, and I actually have some cream paper. So this might be the time to use that up on like some of these. I'm not sure if I want to use it up or if I just want to go white. I think I'll stay white for now. I have cleaned up a ton of stuff. Some of it I just said, I'm tired of looking at this. It's going. This is the box I put the ephemera and stuff I started. These are the done cards. This is paper scraps I've been picking up off the counter. So a couple of them were neutral enough. I put them in there. So these are the ones I have left. I don't have any vertical bases made right now, so I need to make one for that. And I don't know where these two are going. I might just stack them up, put them in my box right now, and go on with my day. Because there's probably embellishments and sentiments buried, and they'll pop out later. So making more is annoying me. And the idea is to clean up and have some fun doing it. But if I'm not having fun with the stuff, it's because I'm sick of looking at it. Some of this stuff is years old, so it's time to move it along. Oops, I didn't put these in the box too. So that's my strategy, just cleaning things up. I do want to trim this down and do something with it. I think I'll put it in a journal making things. I just want to trim the edge off a little. It made a really nice pocket. Has some nice color and texture. Okay, so I'm going to turn off the camera again, and then there's a section over here that is scraps and a lot of things that needs to be dug into, and then I think we'll keep working our way that way. Our crafty friends are tired. They're partied out. Yeah. Hi, princess. Yeah. Are you going back to sleep? Okay. It is Saturday afternoon now. I have been switching to journals and tidying up and working through things on the counter, it's actually quite a bit thinner, isn't it? I was thinking I would take the scraps and work on those, maybe die cut or whatever when I watch TV with Mr. Crafting and Relaxing. This is a UFO journal that I uncovered. It's not even sewed together, so it's probably not going to make it to the craft fair next week. You can see this situation got worse. I pulled stuff out, and I'm trying to find all the items that should be on the table and go to the show. And then I have the boxes pulled out. Oh, and I have kitties helping me. Let's see what they're doing. Hi, Meow Mouse. Oh, they're just playing. So the things that were piled in here have done items in them, and I was just moving them closer to the table so I could start laying it out. As I go through the counter and find fun stuff, I'm putting it in this journal right now, and this one has a floral cover. I think this one will probably be ready for the show, especially because it's pink, right? I don't need to keep pink things for me. I definitely need to sew it together to make that happen. So I'm just going through the counter and putting stuff in it. Here's your Sunday morning update. Look, there's a little clean spot over there. Yesterday, I was struggling with motivation and seeing the end of this. And last night, I feel like I kind of got over a mountain and it's feeling better. You'll notice these containers are pretty thin. There are fewer of them. This one was full, and I have an idea on what I'm going to do with these. I still haven't done anything with this. I found some really cute die-cut animals in here I think I'll use. I sewed 2 journals together yesterday and then started decorating the inside. This one was completely not decorated, I think. And so I started going through the containers and saying, okay, what could we use? And a lot of this stuff we had created in prior videos or, I don't know, prior things I did on a certain day. And I just started putting it in. Not a theme, but still great stuff. I love that washi tape, Tony. I do not need more, thank you. Pockets, other stuff. I don't love these, but I was in bed and that was what made sense at the time to remind me. Look at this. I can't remember which one of you sent me this. This Lego thing. I kind of love it. I thought it was fun. I might back the back with paper so you could write on it. But again, I was in bed and I was just trying to remind myself, hey, put that in there. And I tore that because I couldn't find my scissors because they were in the quilt. Look at this. I folded the envelope in the middle. I don't think I've done this before. And put this in here. One thing that's really tricky about smashing your stash this way. Oh, I glued the tissue together so it's one thick layer. But one thing that's tricky about it is at the end, I will have containers of done things, right? I mean, I will show these items, but I won't necessarily remember or have video of even all the little things that I put in these 2 journals. And I added stuff to my journal from Tanisha. And then I had some stuff that color-wise, I just wasn't feeling it in this gorgeous one that has so much navy. So I put them in here. I put a silly old bear thing that had been carrying around in here in my pet journal, because my Pooh Bear was a silly old bear. And I'm going to work on this today. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go through these containers. There were more, like I said. Some of them have great stuff in the bottom. Like one of you sent me these die-cut joys. I spilled this one day in the stamp drawer. Okay, I didn't spill it. But I might have to go in there to find some of the letters. I also have thank you in here from something that I die-cut. I don't know that I have it all anymore. I'm going to go through these and just try and use them up. Try and put them in the journals. And then some of them have repeat items, like they've gotten separated. The joy stamps that Nancy made me, postage stamps in general, wire. There are a couple sequins in here, bling things. We might as well just stick those on something. So trying to thin down these bowls and kind of get them new, fresh stuff. I also found another container. This was in my little plastic one that I had back here. And it was sorted at one point. This one says, for me. Clearly I was hoarding these. But I have another container somewhere that says, for me. So maybe I should not have so many. And I should go through those and start putting them in my journal. This kind of stuff, like this blue hydrangea stamp that somebody sent me, I want that in my journal. And I'm like a smash booker, so I'll just open up a page, find a place I like, and put it in there. Now, I don't know what my long-term plan is for this, but I'm getting there. This is a really good time to organize and declutter because I have things pulled out that I want to use on my craft fair table, things that are clear or that are more neutral. So I have fewer storage containers. Anyway, there might be a quick update today. We're doing a Zoom with members. There's a lot going on, but I'll try to remember either today, not tomorrow because I have to leave early for work, kind of make you this is how it turned out. Because, I mean, if you followed me this far, you want to see how did the counter go. Girls, it's too early to fight. Let's behave. Let's be nice. Oh, that is not nice. Look in those eyes, is it? Sometimes they just get kind of rowdy. And I don't worry unless Zelda's crying. Because, quite honestly, she's half her size. She's tough, though. All right, we'll be back, I think. If not, take care. And I hope you're taking time for crafting and relaxing. Bye-bye.